Let me ask you a very simple question. What if I told you that two extremely inexpensive household items, things many of you already have at home, have been used for decades to support the body in ways that most people completely overlook? I'm talking about castor oil and baking soda. Now listen carefully. This is not hype. This is not magic. And this is not a cure for disease. But when these two are used properly, safely, and intelligently, they can support your body in ways that may surprise you, especially if you are over 50 or 60. So stay with me, because once you understand how the body works, everything changes. When we talk about castor oil, most people underestimate it. They think of it as something old-fashioned, something their grandparents used, something simple. But simplicity does not mean weakness. In fact, some of the most powerful tools for supporting the human body are simple, natural, and have stood the test of time. Castor oil is one of those tools. Castor oil is unique because of one main component called ricinoleic acid. This fatty acid is not common in most oils, and it's what gives castor oil its special properties. When applied externally, castor oil doesn't just sit on the surface of the skin, it penetrates deeply. That's important, especially as we age, because circulation to the tissues naturally decreases over time. Less circulation means less oxygen, fewer nutrients, and slower recovery. The body doesn't repair as efficiently as it once did. Think about what happens when circulation is poor. Muscles feel tight, joints feel stiff, the skin becomes dry and less elastic, tissues don't bounce back the way they used to. Many people accept this as normal aging, but normal does not mean optimal. The body is always trying to maintain balance, and when you support circulation, you support the body's ability to do what it already knows how to do. Castor oil helps encourage local blood flow when applied to the skin. Better circulation means warmth, it means movement of fluids, it means nutrients can reach tissues more efficiently, and waste products can be carried away more effectively. This is especially beneficial for areas like the knees, hands, elbows, lower back, and feet, places where stiffness and discomfort commonly appear with age. Another important aspect of castor oil is hydration. As we get older, our tissues naturally lose moisture. This isn't just about drinking water. Skin, fascia, muscles, and connective tissues all rely on healthy fats to stay supple and flexible. Castor oil acts as a deep moisturizer, not just for the skin, but for the tissues beneath it. When tissues are better hydrated, they move more freely. Less friction means less irritation, and less irritation means more comfort. Many people are surprised to learn that castor oil has been traditionally used to support lymphatic flow. The lymphatic system plays a major role in immune function and detoxification, yet it doesn't have a pump like the heart. It relies on movement, breathing, and external stimulation. When you gently massage castor oil into the skin, you're not just moisturizing, you're stimulating the tissues, encouraging fluid movement, and supporting one of the body's most overlooked systems. This becomes increasingly important after the age of 50 or 60. The lymphatic system can become sluggish, especially in people who sit a lot or don't move as much as they used to. Supporting lymphatic flow can help the body feel lighter, less congested, and more balanced overall. Again, this is not about miracles, it's about support. Castor oil is also known for its soothing properties. When tissues are irritated or inflamed, they need calming signals. Harsh chemicals often do the opposite. They irritate the skin and trigger more inflammation. Castor oil, on the other hand, is gentle. It works with the body, not against it. This makes it particularly useful for sensitive or aging skin, which tends to react more easily to synthetic products. Another thing people often overlook is consistency. Castor oil does not work by force, it works by repetition. When used regularly, it helps condition the tissues over time. Think of it like watering a plant. You don't dump a gallon of water on it once and expect it to thrive. You water it consistently. The body works the same way. There's also something very important about the act of applying castor oil itself. Taking time to care for your body sends a signal to your nervous system. It slows you down. It encourages awareness. Stress, which is one of the biggest contributors to inflammation and tension, begins to decrease. The body shifts out of fight or flight and into a more relaxed state. Healing does not happen when the body is constantly stressed. It happens when the body feels safe and supported. As we age, recovery becomes more important than intensity. You don't need extreme methods, you need intelligent support. Castor oil offers that support by enhancing circulation, improving tissue hydration, and promoting comfort in a gentle, non-invasive way. It doesn't override the body's natural processes, it assists them. And that's the key point many people miss. The goal is not to fight aging. The goal is to age well, to move better, to feel more comfortable, to stay connected to your body instead of feeling like it's working against you. Castor oil reminds us that the body responds best to care, not punishment. When you improve circulation, hydrate tissues, and support natural movement, you give your body the conditions it needs to function at its best. And when the body is supported consistently, it has an incredible ability to adapt, recover, and thrive no matter your age. When most people hear the words baking soda, they immediately think of baking, cleaning, or maybe brushing their teeth. Very few people stop to consider how something so simple can influence comfort in the body when used properly. And that's because we've been trained to believe that if something is inexpensive and common, it must not be powerful. But the body doesn't work that way. The body responds to balance, and baking soda is all about balance. One of the most important concepts to understand is pH. The human body functions best within a very narrow pH range. When that balance is disturbed, the body doesn't break down all at once, but subtle problems begin to show up. Muscles may feel tight, joints may feel sore, the skin may become irritated or itchy. You may notice that your body just doesn't feel as comfortable as it once did. These changes often happen gradually, which is why people ignore them. Externally, the skin is your first line of defense. It's not just a covering, it's an active organ that reflects what's happening internally. When the skin becomes overly irritated or reactive, it can be a sign that the local environment is out of balance. Baking soda has been traditionally used on the skin to help neutralize irritation and calm areas that feel uncomfortable. This doesn't mean it's fixing a disease. It means it's supporting the surface environment so the body can do its job more effectively. As we age, the skin naturally becomes thinner and more sensitive. The protective barrier weakens, and the skin loses some of its ability to regulate moisture and resist irritation. Harsh soaps, chemical creams, and synthetic products often make this worse. Baking soda, when used gently and diluted appropriately, has a long history of being used to soothe the skin and reduce discomfort. Another important factor is muscle and joint tension. When tissues are irritated or inflamed, they often become acidic at a local level. This can contribute to stiffness, tightness, and that heavy, achy feeling many people experience, especially in the morning or after periods of inactivity. Baking soda is alkaline in nature, and when applied externally, it can help create a more balanced environment at the surface of the skin. This can translate into a calming sensation and a feeling of relief in the underlying tissues. It's also important to understand that baking soda works best when it's not used aggressively. More is not better. The goal is gentle support, not stripping the skin or overwhelming it. A small amount combined with a carrier such as oil allows baking soda to do what it does best, support balance without causing irritation. This is especially important for older adults whose skin requires more care and less force. Many people notice that when baking soda is used externally in the right way, the area feels smoother, calmer, and more relaxed. That's not a coincidence. When irritation decreases, the nervous system also calms down. The body interprets this as safety. And when the body feels safe, it relaxes. Relaxation allows better circulation, improved movement of fluids, and reduced tension in muscles and connective tissues. There's also a psychological component that shouldn't be ignored. Chronic discomfort puts the nervous system on edge. Over time, this can increase sensitivity and lower pain tolerance. Supporting the body externally with simple calming methods can help break that cycle. Baking soda, because of its gentle and familiar nature, can be part of a routine that encourages relaxation rather than stress. Another benefit of baking soda used externally is its ability to help manage odors and moisture. While this may seem minor, moisture trapped against the skin can contribute to irritation and discomfort, especially in areas like the feet, underarms, or skin folds. Keeping the skin environment balanced and comfortable plays a role in overall skin health and confidence, particularly as we age. It's also worth noting that baking soda has been used for generations in baths and foot soaks. People didn't have access to expensive products in the past, yet they found ways to support comfort using what they had. A baking soda soak has long been associated with relaxation, easing tired muscles and calming the body after a long day. This isn't superstition, it's observation passed down over time. The key is respect. Baking soda is not something to use carelessly or excessively. It's a tool. When used with awareness, it can support the body's natural balance and reduce unnecessary irritation. When misused, it can dry the skin. That's why combining it with a nourishing substance and using it occasionally rather than constantly makes such a difference. As we get older, the goal shifts. It's no longer about pushing the body harder. It's about reducing irritation, maintaining balance, and preserving comfort. Baking soda fits into that philosophy perfectly. It doesn't force change. It supports the conditions that allow the body to relax and function more smoothly. The body is incredibly intelligent. When you reduce irritation and support balance, it responds almost immediately. Muscles let go, skin feels calmer, movement feels easier, and while these changes may seem small, they add up over time. Comfort improves, confidence improves, quality of life improves. Baking soda reminds us that sometimes the most effective solutions are not complex. They are simple, gentle, and used with intention. When you focus on balance instead of extremes, the body responds in ways that are both noticeable and sustainable. And that's exactly what healthy aging is all about. When you begin to understand how different natural elements work together, you start to see the body in a very different way. Health is rarely about one single thing. It's about synergy. It's about how small supports combine to create a larger effect. And this is exactly what happens when castor oil and baking soda are used together in the right way, for the right purpose, and with the right expectations. Castor oil on its own has a unique ability to penetrate deeply into the skin. It carries with it hydration, warmth, and support for circulation. Baking soda on its own helps create balance at the surface level, calming irritation and supporting a more comfortable environment for the skin and underlying tissues. When these two are combined externally, they don't cancel each other out, they complement each other. The oil acts as a carrier. It allows the baking soda to be distributed more evenly, preventing harsh contact with the skin. This is important because baking soda should never be used aggressively. When it's suspended in oil, its effect becomes gentler, slower, and more controlled. This combination helps reduce the chance of irritation while enhancing the soothing sensation. One of the first things many people notice when using this combination is warmth. Not burning, not stinging, but a gentle warming effect. That warmth is often a sign of increased local circulation. Blood flow brings oxygen and nutrients to tissues while helping remove waste products. This process supports relaxation in muscles and connective tissues that may have been tight or overworked. As muscles relax, movement improves. And when movement improves, everything else improves with it. Joints feel less stiff. The body feels more fluid. Simple daily activities become easier. This is especially meaningful for people over 50 or 60 who often feel that stiffness is just something they have to live with. The body may slow down with age, but it does not stop responding to support. Another important effect of this combination is its influence on the nervous system. The skin is filled with sensory receptors that constantly send signals to the brain. When the skin feels irritated, dry, or uncomfortable, those signals can increase tension throughout the body. When the skin feels soothed and supported, the opposite happens. The nervous system begins to calm down. This calming effect can extend beyond the area of application. When the body feels safe, it shifts out of a stress response. Muscles soften, breathing becomes deeper, recovery becomes more efficient. This is one of the most overlooked aspects of external therapies. They don't just affect the tissues, they affect the brain. Consistency plays a critical role here. This is not a one-time fix. The body adapts to repeated gentle signals. Using this combination occasionally as part of a routine allows the tissues to gradually change their tone and behavior. Over time, areas that once felt rigid may begin to feel more pliable. Areas that were irritated may become calmer and more resilient. The combination of castor oil and baking soda also encourages awareness. When you take time to apply something to your body, you're paying attention, you're noticing where you feel tight, where you feel sensitive, where you need support. That awareness alone can change how you move and how you treat your body throughout the day. You become less likely to ignore discomfort and more likely to address it early. There is also a very practical aspect to this combination. It's accessible, it doesn't require expensive equipment or complicated instructions. That matters because consistency is much easier when something is simple. The more complicated a routine becomes, the less likely people are to stick with it. Simplicity supports compliance and compliance supports results. Another benefit of this combination is its versatility. People use it on different areas of the body, depending on their needs. Some focus on joints, others on muscles, others on the feet or lower back. The goal is always the same: support comfort, encourage movement, and reduce unnecessary tension. The body responds best when you work with it rather than forcing it. It's important to keep expectations realistic. This combination does not replace medical treatment. It does not cure disease. What it does is support the conditions that allow the body to function more efficiently. When circulation improves, when irritation decreases, and when the nervous system calms, the body has more resources available for repair and maintenance. As people age, recovery becomes the limiting factor. It's not that the body stops healing, it's that it needs more support to do so. External methods like this help tip the balance in the body's favor. They reduce the overall load of stress and irritation, making it easier for the body to keep up. There's also a psychological benefit that shouldn't be underestimated. When people feel they have some control over their comfort, they feel empowered. That sense of empowerment can improve mood, motivation, and overall quality of life. Feeling better physically often leads to better choices mentally and emotionally. This combination represents a broader principle. Small, thoughtful actions practiced consistently can create meaningful change. You don't need extreme solutions, you need intelligent ones. When you provide the body with gentle, repeated support, it responds in ways that are both noticeable and sustainable. The body is designed to adapt. It adapts to stress, but it also adapts to care. When you choose methods that encourage balance instead of strain, you set the stage for better movement, better comfort, and better aging. And that's what this combination is really about. Not changing everything overnight, but supporting the body day by day in a way that makes life feel a little easier, a little smoother, and a lot more connected. One of the most important principles in natural health, and something that is often overlooked, is that how you use something matters more than what you use. People are always searching for the next powerful solution, the next breakthrough, the next thing that promises fast results. But the body doesn't respond well to extremes. It responds to consistency, respect, and intelligent use. This is especially true when it comes to simple methods meant to support comfort and balance. Consistency does not mean doing something aggressively every day. It means showing up regularly in a way the body can tolerate and benefit from over time. The body learns through repetition. Just like exercise strengthens muscles gradually, gentle external support strengthens comfort and resilience gradually. When people try something once or twice and expect dramatic change, they often become disappointed and move on, but the body doesn't work on that timeline. As we age, the skin becomes more sensitive and the tissues become less forgiving. This is why safety matters. A simple skin test can make all the difference. Applying a small amount to a small area and observing how the skin responds respects the body's individuality. No two people are exactly the same. What feels soothing to one person may feel irritating to another. Listening to your body is not optional. It's essential. Many people make the mistake of thinking that natural means harmless. That's not true. Natural substances still interact with the body, and the body deserves caution. Using the smallest effective amount, avoiding broken or irritated skin, and spacing out applications allows the skin and tissues to recover and adapt. This approach prevents overstimulation and keeps the body receptive rather than defensive. Another critical aspect of safe use is intention. Why are you doing what you're doing? If the goal is to support comfort, then everything about the approach should reflect that. Rushing, over-applying, or using something out of frustration sends a signal of force rather than care. The body responds differently to care. When you slow down and apply something with attention, you engage the nervous system in a positive way. Consistency also creates predictability, and predictability calms the nervous system. When the body knows what to expect, it relaxes. This relaxation allows better circulation, improved tissue response, and more efficient recovery. Stress, on the other hand, tightens tissues and reduces the body's ability to heal. Small, regular routines help counteract that stress. There's also a very practical reason consistency matters: adaptation. The body adapts to repeated signals, gentle warmth, light pressure, and soothing sensations. When repeated over time, teach tissues to relax. Muscles that have been tight for years don't suddenly let go overnight. They need repeated reassurance. Consistent use provides that reassurance. Equally important is knowing when not to use something. Rest is part of consistency. Giving the skin time to recover between applications prevents dryness and irritation. This is not a race. Supporting the body is a long-term relationship, not a quick experiment. Respecting boundaries is a form of self-care that becomes more important with age. Another overlooked element is integration. No single method works in isolation. External support works best when combined with healthy movement, hydration, proper sleep, and stress management. When people rely on one thing to fix everything, they miss the bigger picture. Consistency across lifestyle habits amplifies results. There is also a mental shift that happens when people commit to safe, consistent practices. They stop chasing quick fixes and start paying attention to patterns. They notice how their body feels before and after. They become more aware of what helps and what doesn't. This awareness builds confidence and reduces anxiety around health. Safe use also means understanding limitations. External methods are meant to support comfort, not diagnose or treat medical conditions. Ignoring serious symptoms or delaying medical care is not wisdom, it's avoidance. True self-care includes knowing when to seek professional guidance. There is no conflict between natural support and modern medicine when both are used appropriately. Another benefit of consistency is trust. Over time, you begin to trust your body more. You stop viewing it as fragile or broken and start seeing it as adaptable and responsive. This change in mindset can have a powerful effect on overall well-being. Fear tightens the body. Trust allows it to open and relax. As people get older, routines become anchors. They provide structure and stability in a body that may feel less predictable than it once did. A simple, safe routine can create a sense of control and calm. That emotional stability feeds back into physical comfort. Ultimately, the goal is sustainability. Anything you do for your body should be something you can maintain without stress or strain. Extreme methods burn people out. Gentle, consistent practices build resilience. The body thrives on what it can rely on. When you respect safety, honor consistency, and listen to feedback from your body, you create the conditions for improvement. Not dramatic overnight change, but steady progress. Less irritation, more comfort, better movement, and a deeper connection to your own body. That is what real support looks like, not forcing results, but allowing them, not demanding change, but inviting it. And when you approach your health this way, the body almost always responds in a positive, meaningful way, especially over time.